Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video series called Backlog Battle Bits. This is Alex, and I want to talk a little bit about this video series we're starting here. I figured that while we have TriPlay and the podcast, that you're probably wanting to hear about my opinions on games, what I've been playing, and maybe a bit more in-depth impressions and thoughts about the games that are featured on both videos. I sincerely hope that you enjoy this episode and it becomes the first of many to come. If you've ever seen my PSN trophy list, it wouldn't be a surprise for you to find out that I love action games. But sometimes, I just get bored of just being the same shootery or hack and slashy hero that's been featured predominantly in games of the genre as of late. Now, mind you, this isn't a knock on modern action games. In fact, I feel that modern action games are like comfort food for me. They're the kinds of games I want to play after a long, stressful day at work, with no hidden agenda or subtext, and just enjoy it for what it is. But sometimes, even if these games have nuanced differences, they can feel similar. Almost too similar, depending on my mood. And given my personality, I'm always up for fun ideas that put a new spin on the genre. These kinds of games that try to stray far from the norm are my dessert, if you will. Which leads me to cooking video games. No, I ain't talking about Fruit Ninja, but games whose focus involve the assembly and the creation of delicious dishes. Before we talk about this though, I have to point out a disclaimer saying that I'm a terrible cook. I can count the number of dishes that I can make with all the fingers on both my hands. That said, I will advocate that the feeling of being successful at cooking video games makes me feel great, and serve as an encouragement to further my culinary skills. The interest in cooking video games didn't come to me on a whim though, but from a desire brought forth by watching numerous competitive cooking shows like Chopped, Cutthroat Kitchen, and of course, Iron Chef. When making this video, I first thought that cooking video games were a new take on the genre. Then, I remembered that back in the day, I played Burger Time. Now, it's not truly all about the act of cooking, and really, if you think about it, it's just kind of like a variant on Pac-Man if you really distill it to its basics. But it proves that with the right execution and the right idea, that you can make an action game out of anything. That said, I want to show and talk to you guys about two very good cooking games that I've been loving recently. Battle Chef Brigade is a cooking competition action game with a single-player story set in a fantastical painterly landscape. It's on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and at some point in the future, the PS4. The cooking competition is conducted similarly to Iron Chef. The chairman gives you a special ingredient to feature in your dish, you are given a set amount of time to make your dish, and you're then judged based off of your use of the secret ingredient and the flavor profile of your dish. The chef who gets the best score wins. By now, you're probably wondering how in the world can you quantify flavor profiles in a video game? Hold your horses, we'll get to that shortly. Because this is a video game, you don't have a pantry filled with ingredients. Instead, Battle Chef Brigade asks you to hunt the ingredients during the time limit, bringing back ingredients that can help you formulate your dish. Each ingredient comes from different monsters roaming around the playfield, and come with randomly generated flavor orbs that will be the basis of the judges' scores. For example, if the secret ingredient is piranha, your dish should predominantly have piranha in it. In order to gain the favor of the judge, however, you must pepper your dish with flavor orbs that the judge likes, as indicated by the color/symbol above their head during the start of battle. Once you've obtained your ingredients, you now have the option of throwing the ingredients into your pan, rotating or mixing each flavor so that they can combine into an even larger flavor profile. The fancier the orb, the more flavor you're getting. This might look like a match 3 game, but notice that only 2 of the orbs actually disappear, not all 3. It's because the remaining orbs will determine the score at the end of the match. Thankfully, if you grab the wrong ingredients, you can always choose to head out and get more from the outside. But don't dilly-dally on making your dish. You still have to put your dish on the judges' table to get it judged after all. Just make sure you're not accidentally throwing poison onto the dish.
Don't leave anything harmful to the judges in your ingredients, like poison.
If this all sounds too complex for you, don't fret. The game actually does a great job easing you into the gameplay by breaking down each part to get you to understand the whys and hows of the game's mechanics. It also helps that the hunting aspect of this game is really fun and adds a welcome variance to the gameplay loop. On top of it all, the storyline, the colorful cast of characters, and fantastic voice acting round up what's become one of my favorite action games of the year.
Okay, this isn't gonna do. Time for some Mina magic.
Huh?
I'll see you around. Gotta go. Excuse me. Pardon me. Just trying to get through. There we go.
Not to be confused with Overwatch, yet another game that's over in 2016, Overcooked is a local, cooperative cooking action game that's on Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. You can play the game solo, and the difficulty is well balanced for that, by the way, but its charm, or challenge, comes out when playing with 2 to 4 people. The game's look is whimsical and often charming, but don't be fooled, it's faster and more frenetic than Chef Brigade. The gameplay is deceptively simple. Assemble the required dishes by grabbing ingredients from the pantry, chopping or mushing the ingredients depending on the need, combine in a pan or pot, then serve to your customers. But wait, you gotta make sure that you wash the dirty dishes or don't overcook the ingredients, and by the way, you also don't want to fall off the truck, slide off the icebergs, drop your soup pots in molten lava, get stuck on the wrong side of the kitchen, and send the wrong ingredients via the moving kitchen in space. All very real challenges in Overcooked. It's these crazy, insane challenges that make even the act of simply making a salad somehow satisfying. And beating the high score is reminiscent of the feeling you have when beating the best time in a time trial. Best of all, you can even test your culinary chops against your friends in competitive mode. Now, beneath the veneer of Overcooked's cooking theme is a wonderful party game that's available across many different platforms. It was my favorite co-op game of 2016, and it remains as one of my favorite co-op recommendations in video games to date. And I'm super happy that Nintendo Switch owners got a chance to bag this amazing game within its first year of amazing games. It's yet another title that truly demonstrates the platform's potential as a multiplayer machine, whether it's on the go or on the couch. And that's my list. If you find that there's other cooking games that you played that you think I should check out, or if there are any other action games that aren't the norm that you played that you think I should check out, go ahead and leave a comment below. Then come and talk to me about your favorite action games, comfort food or not, on my Backlog Battle on Twitter. Thanks for playing this video, and happy gaming.